Hey, we're back with another preview, man. Arsenal, Liverpool, as always. Got the main man, Savage G, in the building. Normally, what happens is Tariq gets punched up when we do these previews. But he's brought his boy now, man. So we can't beat him up now. It's still 3 versus 2, so we still will win. But lads, I appreciate you, man, taking the time out of your day or night, I should say, because it's late now anyway, to do the stream. And we're not going to be here for too long. Got a few bits to chop up, and then we'll head out, man. But I hope you all are blessed. Guys in the chat, man, like the video, share it. And I've made sure I tag these guys' actual channels in the description. So make sure it's very easy. You just click it and you can go and subscribe to the man them and show them some support, especially when we, you know what I mean, bad them up on Sunday. You man can go over there. And, you know what I mean? But lads, man, is everyone blessed? Yeah, everyone good?
All good, all good.
Yeah.
I just spoke to you backstage, but allow it. Man.
Nah, Sam. We have to do the YouTube thing, bro. You know we have to do the YouTube thing. You know what I mean? Pretend we never spoke before we just went live. do you want to start again, Sam?
Yeah, go on, do it again.
All right. Nah, listen, guys. I hope everyone's blessed. Obviously, I haven't spoken to you guys all day. You know what I mean? Everyone good?
Yeah, it's been a while, man. They haven't spoke to you, man.
In a minute still.
It's literally been a minute. Yeah. Good, man. I appreciate you inviting me on ENDZ, and it's a pleasure to be with Savage G as well. Of course, it's my, the Liverpool fans that I really like, and I can really have a chat with, and we can throw banter and talk sense with. And then, of course, Matt as well. It's a pleasure to be on with you for the first time on a stream, bro. So I appreciate you, man.
Nice pleasure being on, man. Thanks for inviting me, guys. Like, honestly, it's a pleasure. Big game, so let's chop it up.
Do you know what it is? Yeah, because Tariq makes it hard for us to hate Arsenal. I don't like them, but because I always have in the back of my mind, Tariq's so cool, man. Like, I want good things for him, but not your team. But then I'm like, I'd rather them just finish like second, we win the title, then they look good in it, like at least Champions League. But yeah, man, I just don't like your fan base, bro. I don't like your fan base. You guys just disrespecting my team early in the season, telling about your squad's better than ours, now complaining about injuries. Oh my God, we got injured. Well, your squad's better than ours, isn't it? Just rotate, bro. I mean, rotate, put the man them in.
But I always say, yeah, people base it on like different Arsenal fans. Like real Arsenal fans are not that bad.
What is the real Arsenal fans? Because you know
what is social media? People hide behind, this and that. But if you speak to a proper Arsenal fans, they're legit. They'll have a normal conversation. They'll talk. Like the only team I genuinely hate is Man United because I grew up on Fergie, Arsene Wenger. That was my hatred, you know what I mean? I don't hate Liverpool. It's just their competition. So it's just one of them things. We have banter like we are today. It is what it is. But it is like me and Tariq were different. Listen, even me, I get some Arsenal fans on Twitter. So I hear it.
Yeah, 100%. I see Matt do it as well. Now I'm the same, and we're doing it both. We're trying to stand for the ones who are sensible.
But I don't know, man. Big up to Roms, big up to AM, big up to Honesty, Sophia in the building as well. Big up to you guys, man. But listen, Arsenal's around the corner. We haven't beaten you guys in ages, 2 years. So we've played the last 5 games. Liverpool's only won 1, 2 draws and 2 losses. I want to say. Yeah. 2 draws, 2 losses. Both I think 3-2 on a 3-1 and a 2-2 on a 1-1.
Yeah,
I think the records are. Yeah. And then obviously we beat you last season, but that was in the cup. Previous to that, we beat you 2-0 at the Emirates. I think it was in the league. I think Jota smoked you, man. You guys have been good. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to disrespect you guys. You guys have been good. You guys competed with Man City for 2 years. But yeah, Liverpool need a win, bro. We need a win, and we need to make sure we smoke you guys as well. Because I don't want any... Like, if it's 2-1, I think that your fan base will be like, you're going to make the excuses Chelsea did.
Listen, Chelsea were posting up compilations, innit? I swear, like, they were showing Nicholas Jackson and that, and I was watching, I was like, I swear these man lost. Like, they're talking like it was a close, you lost the game, like, done. Now, listen, if we lose, innit? But there is a way to lose, and let's be honest, there is. Like, obviously, people will laugh at us on Twitter, but you can go back. Liverpool probably had games like that where you lose a game, but there's progression coming. And look at what Arsenal are now. We can all laugh, we can all joke, but we are a better side. Forget injuries, we have to show that on Sunday, innit? So that's why it's such a big game.
And just to echo that and go in is because we are further into our development as well in terms of our time with the manager. Our squad is settled. I know you've got a settled squad because you didn't make any signings as well. So, but with a manager with a new style of play, new different approaches, and he's still again going to be working out who's going to have a future here for you guys because with the contract situation and whatnot. So we are in a more settled way. So when injuries and things do come around, we should be able to be dealing with this a lot better now. We don't have the same excuses that we had previously when we didn't really have much squad depth and there was a big gap in quality. Yes, we are missing star players and key players, and that will have a big impact. But in terms of performance, but for me, the result still remains the same. We still got to go into these games looking for a win by any means necessary. I'm not looking in terms for the performance at really this stage of the season, given the scenario, but the results, there's no excuses. And I like how Arteta's gone with that. He's made no excuses. And he said, look, the injuries don't matter. I'm looking for a win. And that's the kind of approach he's taking this season. And that's what we've got to go for, win in any context.
Savage G, man, from a Liverpool standpoint, they've got all the injuries and all the excuses lined up. What?
Is that you didn't hear what I said?
The man never gonna be like, well, me had Saka and Odegaard and this man and that man, and his nan wasn't playing and she was injured, she didn't bring his boots. Liverpool have to go and win this one, innit, man? Because we have to make sure 3 points is there. If there's a time to beat them, it's now.
Yeah, you got to win the game, man. We got no excuses, bro. I'm not trying to see a draw against Arsenal, but you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. Of course, it won't be the end of the world early in the season. But for me, bro, it's getting us 3 points and stopping them getting 3 points. That's how I see it, bro. I know football doesn't always work out like that with the competitors because you can go and, lose to some random team, Ipswich or someone. But every game as it comes, take it. And we've had a little hiccup with Nottingham. And apart from that, we've been flawless in terms of results, not in terms of performances. But honestly, in this game, I'm not looking for the performance, bro. Like, I want to see it, but if it doesn't happen and we get the point, smash and grab, get out of there, bro. Emirates will be rocking. They'll be on it from the first minute. They'll probably, they'll fire shots at us early, bro. So, yeah, man, if we can bide our time there, get through the first 20 minutes unscathed, I'm there, man. I'm take a 1-0 and get out of there, bro. Real talk, bro. Without being disrespectful, I couldn't give a shit about that. It's Arsenal. Like, I'm interested to see how we play against them because they're one of the better teams in the league, but I don't really care about any team we're playing against. I just take the 3 points to get out of them.
That's what I said earlier, Xavier, and the man took it as disrespect, bro.
It's not disrespectful, bro, because really, like, I can't speak for Arsenal fans now, but Arsenal fans at the beginning of the season when they didn't know much about Slot would have said the same thing. Just go and beat Liverpool and take the 3 points, innit? That's it, because they look past us. They look to Man City, which everyone does, and it's fine because they're the standard bearers in it. They win every season, so that's the one. Get the 3 points off them. It's big for obviously. What's the points at the moment? We're ahead 4
points ahead.
Exactly. So beating Arsenal, stopping them getting 3 points, and then going 7 points ahead of them. Yes, they're not Man City, but it's still kind of, you know what I mean? Then whatever happens with Arsenal down the road, you never know what happens, man, and they could fall a lot further behind than that. So that's how I see it, man. Honestly.
What about you, G?
Yeah, kind of echo that. It will be interesting to see how we play against Arsenal. I think it's going to be a tricky game anyway. Regardless of the injury, I don't really think the injuries actually make the difference in the way that people think. I think the game's still going to be kind of tough, but yeah, I'm with Savage, man. Just get the 3 points and let's just go. Like, I don't in big games that your performance level doesn't actually ever matter. There's never really been big games where you look at Madrid. Obviously, they're the biggest team, right? If you look at most of their big games, you'll probably actually say they actually kind of play shit in the Champions League. When you've seen them, we know the year where they beat Chelsea, they beat Manchester City, whatever. They were second best in all those games.
All right, don't need to say it like that. Play less, not as good.
All right, well, what's not as good when there's only 2 teams playing?
I'm just saying, like, shit's a bit drastic, isn't it? All right.
Savage. They weren't as good as the other 2 teams that they faced, right? So when you look at it like that, I'm like, well, they were able to always pluck out results. We saw them in the final against Liverpool. Everyone will say, yeah, Liverpool the better. It doesn't really matter because guess who lifted the trophy that day? Real Madrid.
Exactly.
So in big games, the performance level never ever really matters. It never matters, man. Just get the 3 points, get in, get out, you're good to go. And it's the Emirates, man. Like as Savage said, bro, like they're gonna be. I know people going to the game, and I know it's gonna be on 100 from that first minute. Do you get what I'm trying to say? The fans. If they win Ben White wins a tackle, I can hear boom already. The fans are gonna be, do you know what I mean, on one. And I'll be honest, especially in recent times, you don't want the Emirates on one. You really don't, because you don't want them to be. They're almost like how Liverpool are. When the fans start getting, you know what I mean, on their side, it can get a little bit techie. And if they score an early goal, it's a different game. It's a really, really different game. So yeah, man, get the 3 points and we can bounce.
What's your let's go to TEREAK and obviously Matt. What's your main concern going into this one, apart from the injuries?
I just think Liverpool, if you look at Liverpool this season, I think what Savage was saying, I did season, like I thought you would have like a Klopp hangover type thing, you know, where some of the players, Klopp's gone, you're going to hang around 5th, 6th, and then kind of pick up then. But what's really fascinating, I think Liverpool look fit. Like, I don't know, is it a pause thing nowadays? Because you know them pause things nowadays. But you know, no, honestly, like I look at Liverpool's midfield, like the whole team runners, everyone running, tracking back, putting in a shift. People can say about Trent not being able to defend, but I'm watching him. He's defending all right. Some like Chelsea, he couldn't push forward, but he did his job. Liverpool got the win, and I feel like the biggest one for me is Gravenberch. And I said this on my preview show. I feel like you lot had Endo, then you went for Zubimendi, and when you didn't get Zubi, I went, yes, they didn't get the guy, they didn't get the DM. We're good, they're gonna suffer. You see this guy, he is cooked. Like, honestly, and I don't know if you see his little move where he lets the ball go past him and he feints them and I just think he keeps doing it. And I look at him and look at other Konate, I think has been imperious at the back. Yes, he's got a flaw in him, but he's been imperious. The only one I would say is not really on point now is Robertson. I don't think he's the robber of old. All right, he's getting older and stuff like that. But, you know, I still think you've got Tsimikas and it's the midfield that worries me because I don't know how Arteta's going to play it. Does Rice go into the 6? Does he go into the 8? It's very important because Partey don't have the legs. So if we're going to look to leave, Partey exposed, we're finished. You know what I mean? We're finished. So it's a tricky one. This is a game where I want to see Moreno. I want to see, cool, we bought you. Yes, a couple of games to come from Spain, but these are the games where we needed that left-sided midfielder. Now show us. So yeah, listen, you've been great. Lost one game, you know, in 12. So let's see. I just think it's gonna be a tough game. But like G said, we're at home, and I don't care who's injured. I still expect to. I'm gonna say it now. I expect to beat Liverpool, and that's not being cocky. That's not being a typical Arsenal fan. We're at the Emirates. I think we're gonna start fast. But Arsenal have a certain game at Emirates. If we start fast and don't score, I know where the game goes. We saw it in the cup game when we played you. We battered you lot, let's be honest. And you scored the goal and scored a second. So we have the games at Emirates. If we do that first 30 minutes and score first, I think we go on and win the game. Because I don't think Liverpool's performances have been the best, but they've won games. But I think this might be one where we have the nous to maybe suss certain players out. Because we are going to play well, despite who's injured.
And just to go off about what Matt was saying, because I echo all of his thoughts, the area that I'm worried in, and even if we had all of our players fit, this would be the area, is in that left back position with Salah. Because even though Calafiori has made a massive impact in terms of us going forward, and he's good defensively, but you can kind of see a bit of that naivety in terms of his positioning at times. And coming up against Salah and the form that he's been in, like it's just unplayable. I don't think there's any left back really that can really do him when he's in this type of form. And the way that Salah's adapted his game is if you might have the better of him in terms of speed and you can take him in that 1v1, he's got that pass that can unlock a defense now, that he can just, if he gives a little bit of space, he can generate that with his upper body strength, how he holds them off. You saw it on the weekend as well against Chelsea, and you see it regularly all the time. And he always just manages to create chances and chaos, and that's the issue. And especially now with the injuries, our defense and suspension, not just injuries with Saliba, the attack for Liverpool is strong, and you can get goals even though Jota isn't going to be available. You've got Nunes. I was talking about this with Ozzy yesterday. Like, I know he gets a lot of criticism, Nunes, but you have to look at this. How do you feel? And this is what I'm talking to Liverpool fans here. When you're in opposition and you're coming up against a striker, you know how you feel up against certain man. And Nunes does give you that fear because you know he can score in a moment. You know he can create with so in terms of his movement, he can score with his head, left foot, right foot, physically strong and athletic. So you know that. Of course, his issue is not scoring on a consistent basis, but he's a threat. He's a goal threat. Momentum can shift in games. Arsenal could be dominating one long ball from Trent down the channel into Nunes and has a shot, doesn't even score, but that gives you a bit of fear and says, oh, hold on, we got to be wary of this. So that's what Liverpool have. And we don't quite have. And even with all of our players fit, that's probably what we need to improve on. We don't have enough of that power up top. So I'm looking at that battle, to be honest. And yes, and just in terms of the midfield, that's where I know it's a cliche, football games won and lost in the midfield, but given Liverpool's midfield and how well that they've started, especially Gravenberch, it's been amazing to see what he's done. This is going to be a big test. They had a big test last week up against Chelsea, and I thought Chelsea's midfield was quite good in how they managed that in that part of the game away at Anfield. Now we need to do that. Yes, we don't have our Martin Odegaard, but we've got our Marino, who is our dual winner, who we got that physicality in there. Partey has his legs have started to come back a little bit. I don't think he'll ever reach 22, 23 Partey, but he's looked a lot more physically like sharper and fitness, and he's carrying the ball and he can move a little bit more. But he's up against Szoboszlai, he's up against Gravenberch, who are very slick movers in the middle. So yeah, that little bit of imbalance that Liverpool fans were seeing in the start of the season, I don't think that's completely gone away, because for a very good start, I don't think that's completely gone, but it's certainly something that Slot's been managing to do. And I do think that you guys are defensively better. In terms of, you don't need to be playing at full throttle, pressing high. You can sit in a mid block and defend. And we saw it in pre-season when I spoke to ENDZ and Sav and G at the beginning of the season. That was the thing that impressed me the most in that pre-season game, is that the second half, you guys just went, yeah, come try and break us down. And we couldn't do that. And you saw it against Chelsea, especially. Chelsea, you was in the lead and you were like, you know what? It's coming after an international break. We don't quite have that cohesion that we quite, players coming in from different times of the week and that, and traveling from all different places. But you got to try and break us down. And Chelsea struggled to do that after you guys took the lead in the second half. So, yeah, that's what I'm worried with Liverpool is definitely their attack.
7G, what about for the Arsenal standpoint, man? Is there anyone you fear, knowing who's kind of out, who's not available? Is there anything you think tactically they could do to cause us any issues?
Yeah, I think Liverpool struggle to break teams down. I think that's been proven for a long time. If Arsenal set up in a way that I think they will set up, Liverpool will struggle in the game, 100%. We've seen what if Arsenal really want to make the game tough, if they really want to make it, all right, well, we don't necessarily have to go gung-ho. You know what I mean? Because they know of the players that they maybe don't have in certain positions, or maybe not starting the game. And obviously they know what Liverpool's like. Liverpool, yeah, for me, they're not good at breaking teams down. So if it turns into that type of game, that's where I fear, okay, well, we're not really, I don't see us, getting the victory there. I'll be honest, because like I said, we just don't break teams down. If we start closing, Arsenal are really good at closing the gaps. In the midfield, it doesn't really matter who's playing. It's just about the way that they play. Yes, maybe from an attacking sense, fair enough. They might not be able to, get as many chances. Fairs, and you're going to need the goals, but they got set pieces for for things like that, and they're one of the best teams in the league at that. For me, it's all about if they set up in a way. It doesn't even need to necessarily be defensively. It's just the way that Arteta is. I don't even look at him as like a defensive coach. He's just one of the best in the league at just being organized in those moments. If he does that throughout the game, Liverpool will struggle 1,000,000%. Like I said, we don't break teams down well. We saw it against Forest, but even forgetting the Forest game, there's been a lot of other games where we just find it tricky to break teams down, and the goal doesn't come through us breaking them down. It's transition. It's, they went up for a corner, boom, we've gone on the attack, or these kind of various little things. So that's where I fear for Liverpool if Arsenal make it that type of game. If they don't, any other type of game, Liverpool win. I think Liverpool would win the game.
Fairs. Before I get your takes, LK, Moreno, Rice, Partey, zero creativity, goal threat. I just don't see how. So Robert said, I just don't see how Arsenal beats us. Big up, Tan. I haven't seen you in a minute. I don't think Arteta is brave enough to start Nwaneri, if needs be.
Interesting. Me neither. Yeah.
What can I ask you a question, Arsenal fan? Why doesn't he play him? He's like a good footballer, but he doesn't really give him that many chances. I know he played against Bolton.
17, ain't he? 17, 18? 17?
Arteta don't really.
Yeah, but he's a
Arteta
good
don't
player,
really
though, you
trust
can
the
see.
youngsters. Arteta's not that type of manager to trust the youngster. Like
Yes,
he played against was it Bolton, and he played decent against Bolton. It was, and there's certain games you can play 1 year. He coming against Bournemouth made a difference. Like I feel like you can't be scared. As they say, if you're good enough, you're old enough. End of story. Don't matter. 16, 17. That's how we sort of break through with ESR, Martinelli, obviously when we got him from Brazil, Saka, the same thing. You've got to play him. Look, and I said today, look at Liverpool as a perfect example. I'm not just talking about age, I'm talking about player. Kwanzaa comes in. I never knew about Jura Kwanzaa. Come in, did a job, slots in. Connor Bradley. Remember when Trent was out, everyone was like, oh, look, same thing. You know what I mean? Keller, sorry. You don't even miss Allison. You know that one's just like Liverpool do it. And I think Arteta needs to not be scared to do it. You've got quality there. Miles Lewis Skelly, you've got Ethan Wanyeri. Play him. Like, you know, and the thing is, you play him in a game, I can imagine 1 year in a game like this, he'll light it up. I genuinely believe if they start him, he would light it up. Because it's like, you put me in a big game, Arsenal, I'm at home as well. No better time. No better time.
Or it could get followed up by the occasion as well.
This is the thing. Like, I agree to a certain extent what you said there, Matt, in terms of he hasn't shown that sort of trust. But again, with the Liverpool players, with Kwanzaa, with Bradley, they had at least a season out on loan, playing professional football, the men's game. And yeah, that's the thing with this, with Nwaneri and Lewis Skelly, especially Nwaneri. I want to see him play. It's a question that I would like to ask Arteta. What is the real reason? Like, is it to do with like age and maybe things coming too quickly? You know, from a mental support point of view, if you're coming into this type of team and you light it up, and then you're going to be expecting to start week in, week out. But when Erdegaard's back, we know what's going to be the case. So maybe he doesn't want to give him too quickly, but I'm thinking from even just an experience point of view, 17, he's probably got 200 minutes at the most of professional football. He needs to get that under his belt first. And the same with Lewis Skelly. It looks like Lewis Skelly is trusted a little bit more as well. Look at who came on against Man City. Look at who came on against Shakhtar. Look at him coming in. It does seem a little bit like that at the moment. So yeah, but we'll have to see. I hope to see more of him because he's a bright talent. England have got some serious ones coming through at the moment, like in around that age. You've got one of them in Rio. Honestly, like it's just about the right timing, and it does feel like it. Like if he's not going to get it now, like when is he going to get it at some point in the season when we get our players back? So I would love to see him at least come on in this type of game. Even if it is level, doesn't mean I don't want to just see him come on when the game's gone, or if we have no one else to bring on, because he's got the talent and he's come on and he's made an impact. Not just Bournemouth, Leicester. When we needed a goal, he came on and he gave us a little lift in that moment. And yeah, top talent, man. I know G knows all about these man as well. So yeah, I'm sure. Is
it like what's his name, Obi Martin, the striker? Obviously, the whole thing with him going to Manchester. I don't know what's happening there with that situation, but is it almost like that where he's potentially? I don't know. Maybe obviously, I know money's involved, of course, but also from a point of view of, well, if Wanyeri's not playing and he's that close to the first team, Skelly obviously he's playing every now and again. If I'm not seeing the opportunities, what would be the point in staying? Do you get me? If I know the first, like Jose Mourinho back in the day, all the Chelsea youngsters knew we ain't getting into the first team. Like we could be the best youngster in the whole of the world. We know we're never getting into that first team because of the way that Jose Mourinho wants, you know, certain type of players, you know, certain age and stuff like that. Is that what it is? Like I look at it and think, I'm not asking, by the way, when you're to prepare games. I'm saying, right, like you couldn't even bring him on for like 10, 15 minutes when you're winning games like 3-4-0 and you got man just chilling on the bench. Like I don't see him as a young player.
Do you know what it is though, G? The reason why as well, the pressure is really high for these man now. It's really high, bro. It's not like where you could trial and error stuff. You know, like when you're like, there's no real expectation. You've challenged for 2 years. Ideally, this is your third year and you need to be trying to go and win it. So try to put these type of players in on a whim just to give minutes. That ain't going to happen, bro. If this was in the first year of the three, so the last two challenges and this one, maybe you could have got their minutes there. But because now there's the expectation of winning. But Sav, let's get your take before we get into team selections in terms of if there's anything that you're worried about from an Arsenal standpoint that could cause us an issue?
They don't worry me. I don't really have I don't feel threatened by individuals too much from Arsenal, but as a collective, I think they're really good. Obviously, the set pieces are a thing. I've watched them play in it with these set pieces. It's not like I just hear, oh, they've scored another set piece, called them set pieces FC. They are dangerous, bro. The deliveries are on point. Don't get me wrong, Saka's normally a part of that as well. He's not there. But Rice is there, so his deliveries are on point as well. Always going to cause problems there. They seem to have like different patterns in play when it comes to those set pieces as well. Who knows though? Like, you know what I mean? With all the talk of dark arts and the referees looking at stuff now, I wouldn't be surprised if the ref does something where, you know what I mean? I feel like the refs can have a part to play in this game no matter what, to be honest.
It always does feel like that.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that, bro. But and then obviously they've got players that can do stuff. And when I mean like when I said I'm not threatened by any of them, it's not like a disrespecting. Like maybe Martinelli's pace, if he's playing, he's always worrying against us. Especially with the side of the pitch he plays on. And then Havertz always offers danger in the box anyway. I think Havertz is a problem we've always have. And then I don't know if Trossard's going to play in that, bro. He's a tricky player, man. He reminds me a lot like of Jota before. You know what I mean? Sometimes he just is unassuming on the pitch and that, but he's always about, bro. So, yeah, man. I think I'm expecting a boring game, to be honest. I really am, man. I feel like it will start how I said it will. So that first 20 minutes will be pivotal for us to shut up shop and make it boring. It might frustrate some Liverpool fans, and to the less knowledgeable on the football, will be like, "Oh, we're playing rubbish. We're not doing anything. We're getting them." Like, no, we're not. We're not playing rubbish. Defending is a part of the game too. And then when it eases off a little bit, you know what I mean, we'll try and take our chances where we can. We've been a bit more clinical this season than we have been in previous seasons. Usually, we go through more on frequency of shots than being accurate on them. And you know, by the way of doing that, you'll score eventually. Whereas now, we've had a lot more less shots. So it'll be interesting. Both teams can definitely cause each other problems, and I feel like the way both teams set up now, both teams going ahead 1-0, like either one can cause a problem for the other one. It's just how long can you last? How long can you hold out for against quality? And I feel like with Arsenal missing players, that might be the problem for them. If we score first, I think we could hold out a little bit longer just because some of their quality is missing. And if they score first, I feel like we still might be able to get back into the game, depending. But it's going to be one of them ones, man. Like, I know he said at the beginning of the thing, you'll have some people making excuses depending on what happens. But for me, it's Odegaard and Saka missing is massive. Like, if you take the equivalent from our team, it's a big miss, man. So if that's the case, then us Liverpool fans shouldn't have an excuse, man. Go and, you know what I mean, take the game to them, win the game and get out of there, man. That's the one.
No, fairs. Big up to Max in the chat. Big up to Football Talk Podcast. Big up Ozzy, my bro. Big up to Quasi as well in the building. Like I said, I'm definitely worried if Saka and Timber starts. Crazy how Martinelli has fallen off. Don't want to jinx it though. Fairs. All right, T. You and I'll get you and Matt to sort out your team so we can have a look. So you two, go ahead, man. Who's starting? Who's fit? Who's not available? What's going on?
Obviously, Raya in goal. We ain't got, the ones. There's no alternative to Raya, bro. Gonna be Raya. Now,
is he that good though? I don't rate him, I don't think he's that good as a goalkeeper.
No, I think he's good. He's not world class though. He's good, a good keeper, but that world class word's been chucked out too much. He's not there. Like, he needs a good, competent goalkeeper. But again, I said it before. If Arsenal want to go to another level, we have to upgrade on that. But anyway, that's a story for another day. Gabriel would go left centre back, defo.
Yeah, definitely agree. Just on Raya as well. I think we can't really judge him on that yet because he's had one season, and he's definitely an adaptation point. But what he's done at the beginning of the season, bar the Bournemouth game where he was dodgy, he looks like a man now, and this looks like his team, and that's his shirt, that number 1 jersey. I know he's wearing number 22, but you know what I mean. And he's even representing Spain and doing that job. And you're seeing him pulling out crucial saves, be commanding. He's very important to how we play. In possession, out of possession, just his positioning and everything. It's vital. He's like an extra man on the pitch with his footballing ability. He's very smart in that. So he's definitely an improvement. But what are you thinking now, Matt? in
Nah,
putting
hey, see, this is why I left it for you. Hey, okay. Now, if
Video.
do you know what though? I would do something mad. If Timber's fit, I would maybe, this is gonna sound crazy, put him up against Salah because
a left back.
but you know what it is? That's why we miss Tomiyasu. But
100%.
I'm saying for this, obviously put Timber right back. But I'm saying I would personally do the left back team because I feel like the way Salah plays, he loves the cutting, and Tomiyasu's always performed well against him at the Emirates. So that's what we really miss. I'm worried for Kivior. I'm worried.
Yeah,
for
100%. Me too.
Because I've seen him burn. I think Sane burnt him last season, and I've seen other players burn him. But again, I'd rather them over Zinni. The other crazy one I do is Miles Lewis Skelly at left back.
That's what I went for. That's what I went for.
Sounds crazy, but I think putting him there, we talk about youngsters, whatever, but I think the Hayland thing, this is a game that will make him genuine do. And I feel like he would do a job up against Salah. And that's why he always gets into the team, because he's very adaptable to a number of positions. Unlike in 1 year where he plays as a 10. Lewis Skelly, you can play him left there. Maybe if you want to put, like the inverted role, like Zinchenko, you can play in there as well. So I'll do that. Yeah. Right centre back. See, this is the one though. You'll probably go White, innit?
No, I'll go Timber.
In fact, and then White right back, innit?
Yeah, definitely. Because with Timber, I like what I've seen in him in pre-season. He looks like he's someone who can defend in terms of that last man role. Because Gabriel's obviously our aggressive centre back, and with Timber, I like him in that type of sweeping role. Also, with him just coming back from injury, I think that'll be better for him physically. It's less demanding physically to play at centre back than it is at full back in terms of how we play. So if that's where I would go for, and go with Ben White at right back. Yeah.
Diaz, but you know what is Diaz worries me up against Ben White. Diaz doesn't have the best end product, but you see what he's running on that wing. He's like Sonic, bro. He just constant, just keeps going. So that will be tough for White. But I feel like that's the type of competition where White's got to leave a little kick on him early, just to say, cool, come again. You know what I mean? So but I like that back five. I like that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Ideally, of course, we wouldn't have Lewis Skelly up against Salah. But I think this is where we get into the midfield, and it's important because, as you see, I've gone for a double pivot. I want to know your thing. I think he will drop Rice further back so that he can support Lewis Skelly in a defensive sense, because of course his first start in the Premier League. And if you watched us last season as well against Liverpool, out of possession, it was Jorginho who was the furthest advanced. And it was Rice, the one that was dropped a bit deeper, and he was able to cover, and it really helped us. Jorginho got man of the match in that one. So I think he might do something similar there, but with Partey next to him. What do you think about that, Matt?
No, I agree, but what's throwing off? You know how it's set out? It's throwing me off because we can't put Rice in that. But people know what we're trying to say, so we'll drop Rice deeper, around there. See, the thing is, Partey being furthest back. I know we'll do Rice furthest back. Partey, it's hard to determine what you want him to do, because if you have him furthest back, you can tell him don't run forward too much because he ain't got legs to come back, whereas Rice does. So it'll be a bit of a tricky one. I like the idea there, and then obviously we'll have Moreno more. Well, don't you think you have Moreno more left though?
Yeah, I can do that. I can
more left to Rice.
Yeah. I think
so really it's like a 4-3-3 as opposed to a
exactly.
It'll change, it always does. These games especially, because I think he's going to be a little bit like the Man City games, very fluid tactically. You won't see just a static 4-2-3-1. You'll see a 4-3-3 where you might see Marino drop into here, Rice push forward, all of that. But in terms of average positions, I'd say I think we'd see Marino as the furthest forward, supporting out here. I think Thomas Partey does move towards the right better, and he seems to suit that role. And it's Rice who feels more comfortable out on the left anyway. He likes going from out to into his right foot in terms of carrying. And I think it's like, I know Arsenal fans, and this is for another podcast and another show, want to get Rice, Marino, and Odegaard in. But I think that is a little bit of an issue right now, given the fact that Marino needs to adapt and settle in properly. And what Partey gives you from a ball progression standpoint, one pass, he can break it through the lines, one pass. Whereas Rice, I think he's definitely got the ability. I think it's more about the personality to do it and the confidence. I don't think he definitely has that yet. That's an area of his game that he needs to do. His passing is good when he does it. Like we've seen it enough. We've seen him play those passes, but he just doesn't do it often enough. He prefers to carry rather than pass, which that's his type of game. So what do
you know
think
what though? I was gonna say, I feel like with that now I'm looking at that 3. I know people say zero creativity, but I genuinely think we could win that battle in that midfield physically.
Excuse me?
Me too. Yeah.
That's why I look at Liverpool's 3: Gravenberch, McAllister, and who's the third?
Szoboszlai. It could be Jones or McAllister.
Jones, yes. Now, don't get me wrong. I think if they play Zobo, I'm more content with that. I think Jones in that midfield against us, he's a neat ball player. One touch thing, ball's gone, whatever. I think with Szoboszlai, McAllister, and I think we could win a lot physically. But again, if we let Gravenberch dictate play, it's going to be a long game for us. So that's why someone like Rice is important, because when Rice does his up and down thing, it will hassle everyone. And if we can do that to Gravenberch and stop that rhythm, I think we'll be in such a good place. So I think that midfield 3 is fine for what we currently have for sure.
Yeah, and then the front 3, it's got to be Havertz, isn't it, up top?
Yeah. That Brazilian guy, I don't even call him Gabriel Jesus now, not Jesus, whatever. He's rubbish. That useless guy, man. Get him away from our club. But yeah, Havertz. And what I like about having Havertz is that he'll float. So he'll kind of bring the centre backs out. Because like you've got Konate and Van Dijk. So if he floats back, they kind of follow with him. And whoever's playing off the wings, Martinelli, Saka, whatever, they're going to have to be ready. To run off him.
Now, the question is, do you start Martinelli or Trossard?
Martinelli for me.
100%. Me too.
Martinelli. I feel Trossard is better off coming off the bench. I think we've seen in the last couple of games that he's, for me anyway, he's not a starter. I think Savage said it, or I can't remember. He is like our Jota in terms of in front of goal, genuinely killer in front of goal. But he's the type of player where the opposition look and be like, oh, damn, we're bringing him on last 20. We saw it last season at the Emirates. Yes, it was a jammy-ish goal, but even to do what he did, not many of our players would have finished that. So I feel like he's a good player to have come off the bench. And obviously on the right, I think he's going to make it.
Me too.
I think he's going to make it. You know what is it? I know a lot of people say Odegaard, yeah. But you see, if this guy plays, I suddenly go from 60% to 80 or 80 something, because you look at Martinelli and Saka, they would prevent Liverpool's fullbacks from even trying to go anywhere, like straight away, because Trent will look and go, right, if I'm going to go forward, Martinelli's got the pace to kind of just get way past him. Saka will keep Robertson back. So again, that's quite important. And when I was looking at that team on paper, we do have a squad. There's no excuse, genuinely. I don't want to sound cocky. No, I don't want to sound cocky, and I don't want people, typical Arsenal, but look at that there. There's no excuse for us not to do anything. Like, genuinely. Exactly.
And if Saka, and that's it with Saka, because you know what he gives you from a defensive point of view as well. He will work hard and he will track back.
Yeah.
You see, if White's having a difficult game, he'll be there, like we saw it against Spurs.
Yeah.
Even if he's not having a great game, as Savage said earlier, when he's on set pieces, he could just whip in and get an assist, and from that, because his delivery is so consistent, he's important. If he's not fit, then it has to be Jesus for me. Given what he gives you in a defensive threat. Again, not great in terms of a goal threat at the moment, but you can trust him in these types of games. I wouldn't go with a Sterling, because I know Sterling still has a lot to learn and he doesn't have much time because it's only a loan. But defensively, out of possession, he's not at the level. And you know how much Arteta prioritizes that. This isn't our best team. We are missing, again, if this is the team that plays, we are missing probably 3 starters in there that make a huge difference in terms of how we play. But I'm still expecting
team, man.
That's what I mean, man.
And that's why, do you know what, as well, T, I feel, for me anyway, this is why it's like a must not lose game for me. Because I feel like 7 points is a big gap. I'm not saying it's done, because guys, there's 29 games left afterwards anyway. So it's still a long way to go. But I feel like if you can stay within 5 of Liverpool, yes, they can perform whatever, and you get your players back, I genuinely believe Arsenal are going to go on a run come Jan. Because you look at the fixtures as well, and I'm big on fixtures. We've played a lot of these big teams away from home already. And we've got them out the way. So normally we've got the Anfield, Tottenham away, Etihad Stadium, and you're like, oh, this is peak Villa Park. But
Yeah.
we've done all that. We've done all that. And I'm not to say we're going to win every game at home, but I feel a lot more confident. So I feel like, yeah, if we can get to Jan being there or thereabouts, I think we're in a good place. It's just managing it right now. You know what I mean?
Matt, that's what I've said. I've said if we're within 3 points, if we're within 3 points come Jan, it's a different. I got a different energy. Then it's fully, yeah. I know we can go on a run. I know we can. We've seen it. We've seen it now. We've seen the experience, and this isn't a much different team. They're even more experienced and more hunger and more drive, and they're still not that old.
No, it's a great squad, and big up G, because G did say about Arsenal in terms of like people know what Arsenal are going to give you, and I'm looking at that team, and the squad's there. Like once you get all them other players fit, that team on paper is extremely strong. Now looking at that, there's no excuses. So ends. God forbid we lose. There's no excuse from me, yeah. Unless it's VAR or a ref thing, there's no complaints.
The ref's fault now, yeah.
I was hearing that from Liverpool last year at Anfield. Don't forget.
Nah, listen, you man are waxing lyrical about your dead team. Let's talk about the team that's top of the league. Savage G, man. Light work, innit? Kelleher in goal. Don't have to argue that one.
I think there's 3 positions we already know who's playing in them. Like,
yeah. G, sorry. Let me fill them in as soon as possible.
I don't even speak about them because there's no point. Like we know.
Yeah, we don't have to argue. We've got world-class players in these.
I ain't gonna lie, but I think it's 4 now.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. It is 4. It is 4. Sorry, it is 4.
Oh my days! Are we saying
Come on, bro.
Yeah, I'm not liking this. This needs to change. I don't like it.
Yeah, bro, I just load them in now. I don't even.
I hear it.
I was gonna do it, but I just wanted to man them to, you know what I mean? Right. No, we know Trent is playing. So Trent is in there.
It's not interesting that I heard about this thing though, about this whole injury stuff that he's got going on. Kind of interesting still. That's like. Don't worry what it is. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to know what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Man's gonna tell you after the game.
Like, yo,
tell me after.
Is that injury thing a real thing? The injury thing a real thing? It's not a real thing. Is it a real thing?
I don't know. He said he's playing with an injury or a knock.
Yeah, but Slot never said that, did he?
I didn't hear
someone was saying when I was doing the press conference thing, someone was talking about it during I didn't say, I'm gonna say he said it.
It was a tweet online by some.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was on. He got tweeted before the press conference happened, and then when I watched the press conference, he never mentioned it. So I was like, surely the journalists are gonna say, "Have you got any injuries?" And he only mentioned the ones that we already had. He never mentioned Brent.
But to be fair, I don't think. But he's not injured, so I don't know if he would mention it because he's not injured. Yeah. I think he's playing with something. What that something is.
He always looks like he's playing with something anyway. But who cares?
Yeah. But obviously, it would. Obviously, I think they were alluding to the fact that because he's been taken off so early in the last 2 games, it's because of that.
That's why that's a good excuse for them rubbish Hollywood balls, isn't it? So.
Team on paper is great. A great team. Shake my head. That's the crowd said. Yeah,
it's facts. It's facts. Listen, I will argue with Arsenal fans all day. Let's go.
All right. Centre back Ibu. That's light work, boys, isn't it?
Sorry, that's another name that you could have just loaded in.
Yeah. Sorry, yep, that's true. Could have loaded that in.
Now we doing that left back, boys. I
don't like how you're asking these kind of strange questions. What do you mean what we doing, bro? We talking about one of the best left backs on the planet, or we?
Was.
You know the weirdest thing when people say about Robert this season, it's not. We ain't struggled at left back at all, bro.
Nope.
No, do you know what it is? I feel like I have high standards of I think Robertson's a quality left back. I just don't think he's at them levels.
What do you want him to do exactly?
In this game, bomb on as much as possible. Yeah, leave some space.
No, but people keep cooking him. But what has he done?
No, do you know? I don't know what he is. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm.
I watched him against Chelsea. I can tell you. Watch him against Chelsea. He was more passive than what Robbo. We know how aggressive and front foot Robbo is. When Madueke was up against him, I'd never seen Robbo move passive like that.
That's true, sir.
He's not. He doesn't defend passive. When he's come up against Saka and he's locked Saka up, he's been aggressive onto him. For doesn't give him a time to breathe. And Saka struggled against Robertson in those
context. So different managers, different styles.
But Madueke again.
It's fine though. It's fine though because they mentioned 1 game, so that's fine. If it's 1 game out of the 12, then
it'll be 2 on Sunday.
I think with Robbo, it's like cooking him. I don't think has been warranted. but he's definitely physically declined. I think that's
Yeah.
kind of obvious with Robbo, with the way that he plays. I don't think it's got anything to do with how the manager wants the team to play, because he still does the same things that he does. So that's not changed from him in a general sense, but it's just physically. But outside of that, I think people cooking him, I wouldn't go that far. Like, I think he's been calm.
It
Like,
should be different now. I don't think he'll rack up as many games as he did in previous seasons going forward. Because of what you said physically. Because when he came on in the Champions League game, because he had been rested, he had a bag of energy, bro.
Yeah, it was just running.
You just feel like now, if you rest him a game before he plays, he's always got better energy in that, bro. So that's a fair enough thing. But yeah, man, I think we'll sit back a bit anyway. So
yeah, same.
All right, Robinson, McAllister next to Gravenberch in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Hey, our team looks so cold, man. I swear down. Just look. I mean, these men were talking about Morenos and that, but we're talking about McAllister. It's crazy.
but McAllister physically ain't doing nothing against our bosses in midfield. Rice will round rings round him and out.
Yeah, McAllister will just use his brain in his IQ. He's hiding than all your midfielders put together.
Why did you do that?
Because Partey's back, bro.
First season, bro. You man, as you said, T, in your own words, bro. You man are high further.
So that was Rice's first season, now.
What did last season his first? So is this not his third year?
Rice.
This is Rice's second season.
Come on, bro.
Be interesting, though. It'd be interesting to see what Rice turns up on it. Because if it's England Rice,
no, it's true.
If it's England Rice, it's a long day. That's pot rice, blood. But if it's
now, do you know what? Do you know what? Can I just touch on that point?
Off Rice.
I feel like Rice dictates a lot how the game goes for Arsenal. When Rice has them games where you see putting in the tackles, running up and down, more often than not, we win the game or we don't lose it. That is very important that we have him at the England peak Rice, because we had it against Man City last season at home, beat him 1-0, and he was solid. And that's what I genuinely think he's going to. I think this is the one where we're going to light it up, man.
You know what? Running up and down, right? Is that not the same as Sobo, brother? He runs up and down, isn't it?
Zobo, that guy's poor. Oh, famous last words. Let me keep quiet.
All right, Matt said Sobo's poor. I hear it.
No.
That's what I heard, blood. All right, say less, bro. 10. Is it going to be Sobo, boys?
CJ, blood.
I'm putting Sobo. So you can decide what you want to decide from there.
I think it will be Sobo. I want it to be Sobo.
Great.
See, Saf, don't say that.
No, I said great. Like great.
I know you, bro. That's not.
No, you know what it is, because it's not like I'm. Obviously, I'd pick Curtis anyway.
I'm good with either, by the way. Like, I
was half looking at one. I'd pick Curtis, but then I was watching how our Champions League game went, and Sobo started that game, and I was like, I think he might play CJ then. He didn't take CJ.
Oh, I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you.
But who knows, man? You could be right. But I mean,
I think Jones is a big threat. He plays well against Arsenal typically.
Yeah. Sobo's attributes will be good against Arsenal. 100%.
Yeah, because his intensity. Yeah, for real.
There's another guy I'm scared of, but I just want to see if he's not going to say he's at the start of the 11. And I'm there.
Of course, if you I think it is, of course he will. They'll put him in.
Who they put in there?
I'm nervous, blood. Man, nervous.
Nah, man, nervous, bro. Just calm it.
Yeah, but man said, bro, they were doing their team. Did we say anything, lads? We just quiet, listen.
We just helping you.
We had to read breaking down tactically. Or when he drifts over to the left, and like, calm, bro. Man said, I'm nervous now if they mention this guy. We know, blood. You know, lads, who goes on the left hand side where you could either or, bro, at this stage.
It's Diaz.
Nah, it's not either or, bro.
I was thinking that as well. Definitely either or.
Lucho, I think he obviously had a nice little rest the last 2 games, you would say. Because Gakpo started in the previous game. Lucho came on. Gakpo started in the Champions League. Better performance, though, than the actual game in the league, the Chelsea one, because Gakpo was kind of missing in that one. But the Champions League game, I thought it was good. So, Lucho, bags of energy, bro. Ready to come and cook up.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. Gakpo actually, usually, the Chelsea game away, he normally performs in the bigger games, but I can't afford to have him, like, going missing if he does. Lucho will never go missing in these games, bro, but Gakpo can't afford that. But everyone has to stand up and be counted in this, man. So, Lucho's always good against these big teams, man. You know what I mean?
And the manager done well as well, because obviously when we came back off the international break, there's always that complaint about not resting your South American players. Clearly, he's done that with Lucho. He's giving him literally 2 games off.
Yeah, man. And what he'll come up against Ben White, innit?
Yes.
It'd be a good battle,
Yeah.
man. no, because Lucho's my guy, bro. But I think Ben White.
Ben White's had good games against him.
I'm
Yeah.
telling no. You know what?
told
People write
you
off Ben
last
White,
season.
yeah, because he's not quick. People write off Ben White, but
I don't know, man. Last season, I thought he was the best right back in the league.
I agree.
So
He was, yeah, he was.
yeah, I think he's really good, man. But it'll be a nice battle between them, and I don't think Lucho won't not come out on top at any point. He will, but it'll be very interesting. Just keep him occupied, innit?
Yeah, Luis Diaz is in his probably richest form in his Liverpool career, and Ben White is in a, I probably wouldn't start him in our best 11 right now. So he's in probably a little bit of a down, but it doesn't. I'm not doubting the quality of Ben White. I'm just saying form and things are important, and yeah, that's why I think the battle will be interesting.
This one's straightforward, boys.
We don't even got a choice, have we?
Yeah, I was gonna say we haven't got a choice.
That's not what I needed, bro.
Yeah. Darwin.
Come on, man. What are we doing, bro?
No. I just felt like we probably should have
And do we have a choice? Yes or no? Do we have a choice?
Nah, but I mean, when we have guests in the house, blood, we can't be like.
Hey, you know what? Hey, I see
the guests know what going. They're not blind.
End's doing the brave thing now, innit? End's doing the brave thing.
Nah, Nunez is my guy, bro. Nunez is my guy, blood, and he's gonna cook you, man. Don't worry about that, blood. You find that real quick.
Cool.
Man said Dan's, Dan's is still. I swear Dan's only just passed his driving the other day, man. Dan's ain't playing, man. Big up on his team, man. Nah, bro. All right, Nunez, Salah, Diaz, Sobo, Gravers, Mac, Trent.
It's gonna be a good game.
Basically, the same 11 that we've had all season, outside of 2 players.
I will say attack
at the top and literally at the top and at the bottom.
Our attack does look way more threatening than this, but that's just.
And then we'll do this in the game, bro. This is what you're gonna see in the game.
Yep, I know. That's how you do your 4-2-4.
You're gonna need that once we take the lead, bro. Go 2 goals up, relax, bro.
Fair enough. All right, bro. As a man needs to say it with your chest, blood. Let's get to the score prediction and then we'll head out. As the guests, I'll let you guys go first. T.
For me, I think definitely both teams are scoring in this game. I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Arsenal win. That's what my heart is saying as well. My head would say a draw, but my heart is saying a win. So I'm going to follow my heart with this one. 2-1 Arsenal win. Martinelli to score as well.
Hey, Mariah Carey told you about that heartbreaker stuff, You gotta be easy with that, going your heart.
All right. Guys in the chat, throw your score predictions in as well and your goal scorers. That's the way we do it.
I think 2-1 as well. I think 2-1. Yeah.
What's your score prediction? What's your goal scorers as well?
I think 2-1. I'm going to go with Havertz. And I think we're going to get like a defender goal. I think we're going to score from a set piece.
I don't know against these, man. They're a very good defensive team.
I'm not disputing that. Very good defensive. But I just got that feeling. Listen, I just think when we look at Arsenal with our players are injured, this one's out, suspended, they turn up. They somehow find a way. So I feel like we're going to do it. And I'm basing it on this season. The only games we've lost or didn't win or with 10 men. So I feel like keep the 11 men on the pitch. I can't see them beating us. I can't.
Love that.
I guess you have to, even if it's, deluded or not, I guess you have to back your team, lad.
I don't like the deluded throw. I don't like how you threw deluded in there.
No, I'm just saying across the board, general.
Leave it.
Nah, you said dumb as shit, blood. So we'll see in it, bro. You said, bro. G.
2-2. I think it'll be draw in the game. Diaz 2.
Ooh.
Not Salah.
He'll get the assist.
Face.
That scary guy, man. Good.
Yeah, it's Diaz. Sav?
I can't lie, bro. I feel like it's going to be 0-0.
Yeah.
I can't lie, Savage. That has popped into my head.
I feel like keeping a clean sheet, man.
I feel like it's going to be 0-0, but if I want to be positive, Salah penalty. And I know you want to hate this Arsenal fans and that, but I think I know one of you players are going to get sent off.
Oh, God forbid again. I'll lose my head. I'll lose my.
I won't watch football this season if you do.
I can just smell another penalty, blood. Bro.
Well, like a last minute, someone just challenges Mo running into the
I
box.
just think like it depends on who plays. A Kivy or somebody gets rattled in the box, bro, and gives a penalty away, bro.
I think something big's going to happen in the game, though. I can't remember who's the referee for this one. Is it
Anthony Taylor?
Anthony Taylor, blood, hates us, bro.
Boy.
I'm not using the excuse to I never do, blood. Like if you win, you win, innit? But he don't like us. But, well, he didn't like us, but he might like. He might be alright.
Might like us now because
Maybe.
I'm gonna go 2-1. That's what I said earlier. I think it'll be a tough game. Like even though banter aside, I think it'll be a tough game. But I feel like we'll just have enough. I feel like we'll have enough in the firepower to get the goals. I'm trying to think like who can you guys bring on if it's not going your way. If all those injuries are to be in terms of the Sakas and all these guys, I'm trying to look on your bench and go, who can maybe a Trossard could come on and maybe do something. If Sterling doesn't start, can Sterling come on and say something, do something? But then do you know what I mean? So, and I look at just our starting 11, man, and I feel the way that we've been playing, the confidence, and you guys need to win more than us. And it's not like trying to throw shade over there. You guys need to win, bro. Like you're at home. Yeah, you're the team that meant to be challenging. No one looked at our team and gone, we're challengers this season. You guys need to win. If it was at Anfield, I think it would be down to us. We have to win as well. But you guys are at home, man. So, but I think Núñez will score and I think Salah will score. And I can't think who will get your goals. Maybe Havertz from a set piece. I think that's how you'll get your goal. But I think we'll score first and then we'll score again and then we'll go into our low block shape. And then I think late in the game, you guys will just get something from a set piece.
But we need big players to stand up, man. If our big players turn on, Trent and that, then forget everything I said, bro. It's just I don't think they will.
I remember your goalkeeper and centre back getting a bit of stage fright the last time. That happened. But you know what? I think something. Do you know what it is? I feel like there's something at Emirates and opposition players say a lot. Like, you saw Ibu say it to Saliba in that little thing when he went, "Oh, it's the Emirates thing." There's something with Emirates. If Arsenal take the lead and the crowd pick up, I'm telling you now, it could kind of get long for Liverpool. I'm just being serious.
It's only for the big games though, because I don't see it enough for the teams that we expect to beat.
Complacency in the other games, but don't forget in the other games, them teams just sit back completely. You remember like Leicester and then the goalkeeper, that's Superman. Them ones, So
it's true.
You're making me think that it's going to be no, bro. Like now, proper thinking now. Like,
even looking back at last season as well, I think if Alisson doesn't make that mistake, I don't even think you guys win the game.
But then I don't think we don't make that mistake to give you the goal. We were the better team in the first half. It was 1-1. I would gut it because you didn't deserve like.
What was that goal? What was that own goal?
It was because it was Saliba like, trying to shepherd it out with Raya, and then Lucho, was it
the second half? We started that second half a hell of a lot better, and it looked like we were gonna go and get finish the game off. But then that just killed the whole momentum and the swing of it because then Arsenal can then get back into their shape and actually start playing the ball around.
Chris Wood goal for you, Matt.
Yeah, bro. This man's always scoring goals, bro. But guys, man, listen, we'll leave it there, man. Just under an hour, it looks like. Before we head out, man, T and Matt, obviously, appreciate you guys jumping in, man. Shout your channels out, even though it's in the description, but I know some people are lazy, so they won't click it. So just shout it out, so at least then, I mean.
Big up Ends and Sav and G. Love to chat with G, man, always, man. It's always good fun. TEREAK talks, man, them and people in the chat, and Manda McGill them as well, because I can't discriminate. But yeah, definitely people. TEREAK talks. I'm going to be bringing more content back post the next international break. Life's a bit busy at the moment, but check it out over there, TEREAK talks. And you can, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll find me in other places as well. So
yeah, man, you should be careful out there because you know what I mean. There's some wars going on with your fan base, blood. Like you're not allowed to be positive out here on the streets, blood. I've seen man getting raised up because they were positive about their own team. It's crazy, blood. Man,
Chris Wood. Yes,
you know what I mean. So I don't know, blood. It's
Chris Wood.
A bit shaky still, bro. TEREAK, my guy, blood. If anyone sends for you in that, tell me.
We'll get about the BT, man. Don't worry about that, bro.
Listen, man, out there, man, they're trying to police everyone's content and that. That's crazy.
Listen, me, the BOTN podcast and Twitter. You can find my Instagram as well, Back in It podcast, and TikTok as well. like T was saying, life's busy, but you know when you're doing the social media thing, you've got to keep going. Even after this, I'm shooting from a night shift, but it's life. I'm here to back my boys, and come Monday, I'll be celebrating. So will T. Yeah.
Also, man. Also.
Got the I'm gonna obviously do the watch along. Sav, if you're free and G, yeah, it's painful if we lose and I do it on my own. So if you guys are free, man, I'm doing the watch along for the game. Straight after the game, lads, it's the call in. So T, Matt, we do a call in after the game, innit? So if you man are free,
I might be busy, depending, get me?
if you man are free, the call in is there.
Yeah.
So we get to hear from the fans, innit? And we get to hopefully, and fingers crossed, it's a win, man. I'm sure it will be, but you never know, man. As we know, the referees like to take the limelight sometimes, innit?
How
So
don't
like
we
to
know?
try and so is what it is. Sav and G, do you guys have anything popping up today, tomorrow, for the rest of the night?
Yeah, well, wrestling stuff tomorrow morning, and then our Classico tomorrow night. Let's watch along. But you already know about.
Is it tomorrow?
Come on, G. What do you mean is it tomorrow? Of course. Come
I
Oh.
on.
thought it was Sunday night.
So did I. I did until 2 days ago, blood, and I was like, "Raw, I swear," because I thought it was on the same day, like Arsenal, Liverpool, and then El Clasico.
Do you know that's
Are we
so
doing
much?
the watch along together for that?
What was that, mate?
Are we doing the watch along together for that, or
But if you've not come on with your Catalonian foolishness, blood, I'll block you again.
Hey,
no?
at least
He
we get to
blocked
watch
us the other day. T. He blocked us out of the chat.
blocked
the other
me.
day.
Yeah, I blocked both of them. Bro.
I've got bare channels, bro.
Oh,
Like, don't get twisted. I'll just come on
Yeah,
another
man,
channel.
fucking
And...
creeps, bro.
Innit?
Yeah, man. Man, now you trying to do a watch along for Liverpool and that. They're telling me about Barca and Lewandowski in the chat. Get out of here, man.
Hey, I'm glad that we I'm glad that we actually all get to enjoy the game though first. Like,
It's true.
yeah,
It should be a good game, man. Should be a good game.
should be, man.
All right, chat. Love for the love as always, man. I am going to be around later as well, man, because I got to go and have a footballing conversation on
What's
this.
the conversation about? You know, man.
Huh?
What's the conversation about in the next stream?
I don't know. I need to go and see what thumbbels he's thrown up.
Yeah, I was about to say, G, if I'm guessing, I'll say Nunes and Trent. It is every week, seems so.
We never know. We never know. We just have to get there. We find out what the agenda
We
is.
find out and then see what agendas or narratives are being pushed and run. But listen, man. Hey, boys, love for the love, man. That was fun still.
That was, man. Appreciate it.
Make sure you man are about, man. We will be there if we lose, so you guys need to be there if you lose as well.
Yeah, same.
All right, man.
I love that. Yeah. Same.
Nah, do you know what? Listen, at the end of the day, that's what makes it better. When your team lose and everyone disses your team, when your team come back and win, it's a nice feeling. So listen, I'm there regardless, man. Is what it's like.
Hey, Arsenal, over to you.
But I have an idea. I heard the song today a few times, and I you can do that. I have no problem with that. Let's see how the response will be. Honest Lord, la 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 la. Honest Lord, la 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 la. Now imagine the next season starts and you are not waiting what's going on. No, you go full throttle into it. You welcome the new manager like you welcomed me. You go all in from the first day.